What up, what up? We are back to do the reality recap. We are now live on YouTube and Instagram, so we'll be looking in two different places. But you know, before we actually get into the show, I have to give you guys the branding. So here it is.
Yes.
Personality. Okay. All right. Hey now. So as you guys know, at the top of the show, we do a little bit of pop culture. But before we even get into that, this is Black and Curious. I am Deja. This is Kendra. And let's get into it. Hey, y'all. Yeah. So clearly there was a smack at the Oscars last night. If you were like not on social media whatsoever, you would not have seen or heard about it. But at this point, it's like 7-something in the evening on the East Coast. So I'm sure that you already have. One of the hot takes I pulled.
I've been living under a rock today. You have heard.
One of the hot takes that I pulled was off of D.L. Hughley's repost. So it says here, unpopular opinion, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was misdirected anger and frustration behind becoming a joke, a meme, and the poster boy for emasculation. By no fault of his own, Chris Rock took the slap for everyone on social media who Will can't hit. And then it goes on to say some more details that I can't see. Ooh, go back. Get off the screen. There we go. Okay. Says Chris also took the slap because Will hasn't properly and effectively dealt with his anger and frustration with Jada. What do you think about that, Miss Cam?
I agree with that take. And there's another take that I saw that was basically like, what did it say? Oh, like there was so much Black excellence and like it was Will Packer directed or produced the whole extravaganza. We had like Questlove winning and like all of this Black dope Blackness, and it got overshadowed by that mess and something that honestly wasn't even necessary. Like, yes, he was aggravated, but like also like, you know, that take what said, or D.L. Hughley, I think it was, or he co-signed that
this
statement.
Is from April Watts' Instagram on IG.
Yeah, it's like Jada made a fool of him. Not to say that he had never done anything to her. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't misunderstand me. But like for the last, I would say year, 6 months to a year, really, with all of her entanglements and all of this stuff, it was very much like
it was a whole lot.
It was an embarrassment, kind of, and so I think that he took it out on the last person. So it's like it was like Chris Rock was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Literally. I also have the full clip here. We'll see if it will play. It was playing earlier, but it may not because the connectivity is down. But basically, for those of you that may have missed it, Will walked up on stage after Chris made a G.I. Jane joke. And in fairness to Chris, it was seemingly innocent, but it was also poor taste considering that Jada had formally come out and said that she is suffering with alopecia, which is why her hair was cut so short.
Right.
In this clip that's not playing, hopefully it'll play when you guys are watching it back on YouTube. Basically, when the camera pans to both Will and Jada's face initially is very, very disgusted. Oh, child, that whole episode was very Librian of him, okay? I was like, yo, listen, I felt this coming. Will was like, y'all gonna stop punking me. And I think there was an interview that Will and Jay-Z did a couple years ago where Jay was just kind of like, y'all, people don't really know who you are. Like, they have no idea how you actually operate. So we got to see the real Will Smith last night.
Absolutely.
That's really all that I have for the pop culture because that was the biggest thing that happened. Let's go ahead and get into the mess, though, shall we? What you drinking, sis?
Let's do it. JoJo says, I know it was me. I am a Libra. So co-sign from JoJo the Libra over there. All right. Where y'all want to start? JoJo, do you watch any of these shows? The Love and Marriage, Huntsville, the Kandi and the Gang, the Ready to Love? Let's do, where do you want to start?
Let's get, I feel like I don't remember what happened on Ready to Love. So let's get that out the way. Maybe that's why I don't remember, child. Oh, yes. And I am having
I thought it was going to be so much more interesting this season, and it's just not. Oh,
Kandi and the Gang.
You watch Kandi and the Gang, so let's start there.
Perfect. What are you actually having today, hun?
Oh, I'm just having hot tea. I didn't even modify it or anything. I was just like, give me some tea and let me go sit down.
Listen, I ain't mad at you. I have my usual suspect, the Lamarca Prosecco, because that was what was on order this week.
Yeah. So we'll do
So,
Kandi and the Gang. Um, Don Juan pulling that ring camera was a whole move.
so what I, because when that scene popped up, I think my friend was talking to me, so I missed all of Kandi and the Gang. Actually, I need to watch that back. It was watching me. I saw it happen, but I didn't know what was going on.
Basically, like they had this meeting, this alleged staff meeting, and
Mm-hmm.
well, what actually happened is Kandi's cousin, who is that? Patrick, had been at the group Ponderosa. And you know, when it's a group environment, you're going to vent. But, you know, they forget that Patrick is related to Kandi. So they're
Yeah.
venting, but they're not. So he runs a bunch of stuff back to Kandi, essentially. So Kandi is like, okay, well, then we need to have a, what do you call that thing? We need to have like a town hall so we can kind of air everything out, and brings all the employees. But she also says behind the scenes, like, basically, I'm not going to let them just attack me. So she also came in like on a very defensive stance. So basically, they all kind of like aired out their issues. Kandi was defensive, in my opinion. She was very much like kind of going back and forth with them a little bit. Like she had a response for everything instead of just kind of, you know, accepting the feedback.
Yeah.
Right. So in the midst of all of that, Shawndricka apparently after the fact was very irritated, and basically just saying the same thing of like, Kandi wasn't really listening. They don't really care. They weren't really listening. This was just there to make them look good, whatever.
So this is what was taking place in the closet, because that's where I like had checked out.
Well, the thing about it is, and here's the really trash part about it, Shawndricka wasn't even there. She was talking on the phone, and whoever it was she was talking to, I think it was Brandon, had her on speakerphone. And so Don Juan, being messy as he is, goes and pulls the Ring camera and is like playing it for Kandi and Todd, like, listen to what she said.
Girl,
It's time for her to go.
I can't, JoJo.
Like, I was just like, that's so messy. So now she's also like, who told them I said that? Like, who told them I said that? And the answer is nobody. They pulled the Ring camera. And my thing is,
and that's the thing they don't want. Yeah.
Yeah. And my thing is, like, as an employer, you have to accept the fact that your employee might not like you. Like, who amongst us hasn't been in a job where we didn't really bang with our boss like that, and we was like talking cash shit on our break, at work sometimes, or wherever the case may be. Like, you can't be mad about an employee voicing their opinion.
Don Juan is the queen. How much y'all think he make?
I don't know, but he gotta be making a lot. He should.
He's literally like, he's literally one of the top executives in all of Kandi's companies. So, and it's interesting to me because I feel like Don Juan is like within our age group, and when he started, he was like her assistant or something, and then a couple of years later, he was like her manager, and he's worked his way up to being like involved with all of the Kandi Factory projects and anything else. Like, he literally is like top tier, overseeing everything with Kandi. It's kind of wild.
JoJo said the shirts be from Express, so maybe he isn't making all that he should be making. But I don't know. He was just being really messy. I was like, that was such a hoe move. Like, why would you do that?
But Don Juan gives that energy. I feel like he's always been like that. You know what I mean? So it's not surprising that he was Mr. Runtel that I don't think he made 6 figures. I hope he do for all the work he do.
Yeah, because he runs the Kandi Factory and all of her stuff, execution on all her stuff. And they got it on there slinging chicken. Like, he ought to be making 6 figures to be slinging chicken and doing all her sex toys and stuff.
I mean, literally, he's in every part of Kandi's business. So, something worth considering. The part that I did see was Patrick trying to plan this function. and the girlfriend was like that touring couldn't come, Shawndricka couldn't come, and like half the people that he wanted to invite, like none of them could come. And she don't even live there. Torin was in the convention, was like, why she get to say on who get to come? She don't even live there.
Right. Correct. Oh, Jojo says, yeah, what you call it, Don Juan went up against Phaedra and Portia as well. So,
yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
My thing might cut out for a quick second because it's telling me my I have a time alarm set for Instagram. So anyways, I'll come right back if it goes out. Anyways, I also love Torin, exactly. But like yeah, Patrick's girlfriend, she's muchy. I don't know really what else to say about her. I don't find her to be like interesting or anything really. She's just a lot. Bless her heart.
It's just, that was stupid. I'm like, girl, how old are you? You supposed to be 4 years older than him. Like, why are you so concerned about people having disdain for you or whatever the case may be, and you made the decision about the party functions? Like, what?
Yeah. And I can even understand her saying like no to Shawndricka, but then you went and sat at the bar in front of Shawndricka's face while she was working at her place of employment.
Because you want to be messy. Like, sis is flip-floppity.
Yeah. Oh, the only other thing is that I noticed that they really don't have an iPad at the front. What? Who was it? One of the server that's from Baltimore. The one.
Oh, the young one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
He was like in the meeting. He was like, why? I've never worked anywhere where there was no iPad at the front at the desk. Like, why are we doing all of this via paper and pencil? And basically their response was steakhouse. Basically their response was like, just do your job, you know.
But I'm like, no, bro. Like, cause yeah, he came from, I want to go to that restaurant, by the way. So when we go to Atlanta, man, we need to go to Blaze. Yeah. But either way, he came from that environment. So he was just saying like, this is still under the candy factory, like establishments or whatever. So why does one location have all the high tech stuff and the other location doesn't? It doesn't make any sense. Like make it make sense. You kind of make this more upscale, but you're not doing the things to make it more upscale fully. And maybe it could also be like, depending on where they are, maybe there's more money going out in terms of the like taxes and the certificates or whatever the hell. Like, because last episode they were talking about all the money it costs to have like the generators and all this other stuff just to be in that particular area.
That's no excuse. You're in the business. You're in the restaurant business, and also like an iPad is, you could get an iPad for $300. Like you don't have to be the latest iPad. You just need something that run your operating system, and that's it.
But that means they would have to have an actual operating system. And what I assume is that they don't have one at all.
They gotta have something for the registers. They gotta have something for the registers.
True, but it's probably like super duper old school. But remember, even the one I don't like, Philip. Well, I take that back. Philip he grown on me just a smidge. But like, he basically was just kind of like, they don't even have like the old school card machines, like the little thing that we had to use when the power would go out in the mall.
Yeah. It just sounds like it's mismanaged all around, coming from the top down. I will say that Kandi's cousin, the one that's the cook, what's his name?
Melvin.
Melvin did say, because Melvin apparently had worked at Blaze too, and so Melvin did, vouch for Philip and was basically like in their team meeting or whatever, and was like, yeah, Philip pulled everything together at Blaze really well. Like, I like him. I think that what he's trying to do, y'all might not like it, but that's how we get the business together.
Hello, we need structure in this piece, because right now everybody is moving by the seat of their pants. Like, that's not how it's gonna work out.
Ain't.
Listen, this might have a touch of a fever, so I got to fan myself.
All right, so that was pretty much it for Kandi and the gang. Yeah, she exactly. JoJo says she wears high-end clothes. That what she spends on high-end clothes, she could pay for a generator. Kandi ain't at a loss for no money.
Oh,
she can afford a generator.
Got like 10 streams of income, and hell, I'm sure a majority of them we don't even know about.
Correct. So, and she, songwrite royalties, and she's still writing, and she's still doing, and all that stuff. Like,
but
I also think Choice wigs. Yes, they are.
Child, they
it's
be
giving
doing
Tori.
Aunt Bertha wrong. I don't understand why her everything just to be looking wrong. I'm like, no, Aunt Bertha's cute and little. Give her a cute little pixie cut or something. Why
Aunt
she can't
Bertha
get
is
one of the
so
fly
funny.
wigs?
She was like, who was it? Torin was trying to come over there and make up with her.
I think we lost Canfor.
Okay. You hear me?
Hey, girl,
So
welcome back to the party.
Torin was trying to come over there and make up with her. Yeah. Torin was trying to come back over there and make up with her, and Aunt Bertha was like, "No, get on away from me." That was, like she's like an old black lady, like an angry old black lady.
Is.
Aunt Nora over there trying to fight people.
Hello, Aunt Nora is my favorite because, as I say every week, I want to be like Aunt Nora when I get to be 80. She the eldest. She look younger than
She's 82, I think.
Yeah, she like 10 years older than Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce is 72.
Yeah.
I think Aunt Bertha is like 74. So she's not that much older.
Yeah.
Watch them all speak on, honey, that was good because Aunt Bertha got up and was like, I'm done, I'm leaving. And poor Kandi had the little, Kandi get the broke up cry where it's like her voice is cracking when she's speaking. And she felt bad because she was like, it's not, it's not that big of a deal. Like we all made up, it all worked out. But like, child, that was a mess. Aunt Bertha actually walks out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was funny though, because even in the confessionals, Bertha was like, they came over there like, anybody got any gum? And she was like, get that paper from away from me. I want to leave. I was just like,
Aunt Bertha ain't got time.
Like angry, like mean, but like also like very sweet old black lady. I love her.
She ain't got time. She was talking cash shit about them girls at the pool.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was over them. I don't want to got me out here in this hot ass sun.
Yeah, she was over it. All right. Shall we move on to the Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Now let's do Ready to Love Child, because that is probably the most boring of the shows that we talked about.
Okay, well, I don't have nothing on Ready to Love. I didn't even take no notes. So nobody got voted off because Ace left on her own accord.
Listen, I was so like, okay, this is different, very 2022 of you. Like, yeah, she just was like, I didn't call and return calls and show up because we don't have that type of connection. And I'm like, yes,
real. Yes,
ma'am. Like, why? The other thing too, well, I get it was the show, we got to have the drama, but like also at the same token, it's like when your man went home, then why would you just let him go? Because she was like, my connection was with the crazy man that flipped out last week, and I think he's an Aries.
P.O. Paul.
No, P.O. was still there. The one that flipped out was the muscle man with the bald head. Yeah, there you go. With the woman's name. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it just didn't seem to me that they really had much of a connection. No. Because when you watch the episode where they're like introduced to the friends, I really felt like, I guess, did Ace or not? Is there any? Yeah, did Ace introduce Laverne to anybody? I don't even remember that.
I don't remember actually.
I feel like that got cut out or something. Like, if y'all watch the show, get down in the comments and let us know.
Wait, she did introduce. She did have, because she had that like really earthy ex-boyfriend that I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was very much her energy, but at the same token, I feel like that he had a little bit of that rah-rah that Laverne had. So it made sense for her to choose Laverne, but it just never seemed like any of that was all too serious. It was more so like, this is just for the sake of the show. Right. But like, Tori, I absolutely am not going to play this game with. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I really fooled with him, because I don't.
I mean, I thought it was fair. What she said, it was fair.
I'm not mad at it. So we have left Sabrina, Joy, Christina, who is also Tina. And I feel
like Sabrina is in everybody's mix, but I don't think that I'm not sure she's gonna find anybody. And if she does, I think it's gonna be Troy, but only because Ace left. I don't think that they have a really strong I don't think she has a strong connection with really anybody, to be honest.
I think that she has started to build a connection with Donovan because like their conversation and like connectivity in terms of like chemistry on screen was like bees and honey.
Yeah.
And he
Kimmi.
put her as like one of his top. Even so, the thing that was interesting is that Donovan is best friends with Phil from the previous season.
Correct.
And so Phil was just kind of like the person that's more your speed is Sabrina and not so much the other young lady, Christina, Tina, whatever she called herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just interested to see how this
I'm
is
not
all going to
invested
play
in
out.
it. Yeah, I'm
I
not
feel like
invested in any of these couples at all.
the only one that I could feel like slightly invested in is Joy and Cliff, and that is because from day one they had really good chemistry, and it has remained the same.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see how that turns out, you know, as the months progress or the weeks progress, to be honest, because we don't know. Tori should have went home, and so should P.O., who is interested in Christina, and he's like old enough to be her daddy. I don't know what's going on. It's just it gives me a whole lot of old balls, and I'm like,
creep vibes.
Very much creep vibes. And I'm just like, why are you interested in a woman who is more than like half your age at this point? Because then he closer. Well, no, maybe he's in his mid-50s. He's not that old. But like, ew, I just don't get it. And then, Carmen is still there. I forgot about her.
I don't find Carmen to be interesting whatsoever.
I don't either. And I don't know that we are getting any like genuineness as it relates to her personality. I feel like she's putting on for the show.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. Anyway, we can go on ahead and get into Love and Marriage Huntsville because not much else is going on Ready to Love. We'll see what happens with them next week as they go and be sequestered away in this house so they can make their final decisions. One of the previews, though, that I did enjoy was there was some sort of banter or conversation around Joy and Clifton having the same room. And, Dakia. That's who it was. Dakia. Lord, these women are forgettable on this here. Well, not
very.
The women. The show is very forgettable. Dakia is upset about the fact that Joy was staying in the room with Clifton, but it's like, girl, like you knew off the rip that they have a connection. They've had it since the beginning. You was very much focused on Demetrius and Eric, who somehow you feel is no longer ready to love because he touched your booty or something. Like, I still want to know what the backstory is on that.
This is a funny little aside, really funny. So, apparently, Ready to Love is coming to Miami, and then how I found out about this is like one of the casting people like was liking my photos, and I went to their page and was like, "Huh." Was that like a wink and a nod? I am not going on Ready to Love, just so we're clear. But I was just like, that is funny. Hilarious.
Let me tell you, if my friend ended up on Ready to
I would never. I would. I just simply would never.
Oh my gosh, Kendron, girl, it is
like
funny.
She never said anything to me directly, but it was very clearly like, okay, I'm looking for people. Let me like some, like kind of tag her and kind of, maybe.
I feel like this is an offline conversation, bitch.
No, literally, it's not, because there's nothing more to the conversation than what I just told you just now.
I mean, I know, but like, there's stuff that I want to say that I have to say offline. Hello.
Well, okay. Well, if you need to have an offline conversation about it, that's fine. But I just thought it was funny, and that I would share with the class. Okay,
girl. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
All right. So let's move on to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Where do you want to start?
These people, they pluck my nerves.
Yeah, on every level.
So bad. Mine too. The only person I ever rock with every week is freaking Kimmi, because Kimmi is the most logical person on this show.
Absolutely.
Sometimes her husband, Maurice, he be logical too. He got Virgo energy, so I can appreciate him. But like, he is giving me like, he's too unbothered. He's too unbothered. And that is problematic.
I agree with that.
Because my thing is like, I know like for the next episode, they did give us a preview, and basically he and Marsau are sitting down and have a conversation about Marsau's actions. But it's like, call a thing a thing. You know, that man sat there and put that photo out on Instagram because he was trying to be messy because you claim not to have been there. So,
well, that's
like,
what he
check
said.
your brother
And
on
I think
his
we see Maurice starting to pipe up a little bit because he sees how irritated Kimmi is, and is very much like, okay, now I get it. Because when she was telling him and like breaking it down to him, and then even I think coming into this episode with like Jalen, Kimmi's son, being like,
concerned.
hey, like what is going on here? You know, I think he's starting to kind of tap in and realize like, okay, this isn't just affect me and I can't just say like don't worry about it and move on. Like that's not how it works. Not when you have like a whole family dynamic, you know. One thing that Marsau continues to be, I'm gonna call it Marsau is my problematic fave because he cracks
fucking Libra
up. Marsau is so funny to me. So he is like
funny.
when he was talking to Miss Wanda, which that the beginning part of that exchange irritated me because he was like, well, maybe we can talk about it if you go make me a coffee. Like, why does a woman have to appear subservient to you to get anything out of you? Like, that's not okay. But when he was talking to her about, and she was like, basically Miss Wanda was like, if somebody says it, I believe it. And like, I don't believe that people just make stuff up, which they absolutely do these days. But she's basically like, if somebody says something, I believe there's some truth in it, and I am going to ask you about it. So here's what I read. Here's what I'm asking you about. And Marsau is like, well, I have never told it. And I think they were talking about the Maurice thing too, about like him posting the photo. And he was kind of like, well, Maurice says that he's transparent. I did not say that because I'm not transparent. And it was like, big vibes, because y'all already know over here, I am not an open book. I am super clear on that. Like, I share what I want to share, how I want to share it, and you can go to hell for the rest. Like, I am not an open book. So that it made me chuckle for him to be like, I'm not transparent. I never said I was transparent, and I'm not. So,
I mean, as the transparent person within reason, like, because I have you know me and the juju stuff of it all. So I have Libra placement. So it's a lot of things that I'll never talk about on social media. However, there are things that I talk about that make people be like, oh my God, they're just so vulnerable and so on and so forth. So it's just kind of like I feel like with him, I would dare say that he's similar to me in that he picks and chooses what he's going to be transparent about.
Yeah, of course. And I think that was the point of like, I'm not an open book. And I was just like, you don't hear people say that. Like, people always want to allege that they're this open book and you can ask them anything and we can talk about anything. And you never really hear people, especially on TV, just being like, no, I'm not an open book at all. Like, no, I share what I want to share. So it's like, I respect it.
Yeah, my stance has always been, I'll tell you what I want you to know.
Right. So Mel's little slumber party.
Child, before we even get to Mel's slumber party, let's talk about the new bitch on the block. What's her name?
Yes. Oh gosh, I didn't write it down.
Stormy.
Yeah, Stormy.
Stormy gives me, I've been watching this show since its inception, and so now I'm just going to bring all my opinions from sitting on the couch to the show, and I'm not mad at it because she is saying the things that we be out here thinking.
It's interesting
and to
though,
the
because
people.
She isn't. But it is interesting though, because I don't think we've seen anybody so clearly come in with their biases and just be like, say it, like based on the show. Like, you know, from watching Housewives and other reality TV for a long time, that's sort of like a kiss of death where you're just like, oh, you watch the show and you're coming in with preconceived notions from watching the show and you're a fan. And
Yeah,
that's always been a big no-no. So the fact that she
absolutely.
just came in was like, well, this happened at a reunion. So what happened after that? I was just like, whoa, like it was kind of.
But the thing too is that Stormy also is very well connected. I think Melanie has been saying that about her friend. This is the second time that we actually see her, outside of when she did the video at her house and the other event when she was pregnant. But like
Well,
Stormy
that's
is,
Stormy. I didn't know that.
yeah, she's very well connected. She's always been in the background of all of these things, so she knows these people too. So like
Yeah,
that's
I
the
think
interesting
so.
part. Like as much
I
as
think
she's
so,
watching
but
it on TV, she also is like interacting with them in real life because the conversation and the banter that she had with Tiffany, is that her name?
yeah,
The one
Chamber
that's
of
always
Commerce.
telling people to be, yeah, okay, transparent. The conversation that she had around her and then later on with her, she basically said, I'm just trying to feel her out because like and she presents this way in the in the business arenas that we've been in or other settings that we've been in, and then she's totally different on the show, and then she's a whole
Bad
nother
vibes.
thing. Yeah, that's what she said. Bad vibes. She was like, but I'm gonna feel her out. That's your girl. I'm gonna feel her out, and I can respect that stance.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about her yet. You know how I am when the new girls come in. I like them to circle the block one time, circle the party, form your own new opinions, and then jump in the mess. And like you said, it seems like she already does have some, if not relationship, she has some interaction with these people, so she
Yeah,
knows enough to know enough.
right.
But
She's
I would
connected
like
in
to
terms of
see
knowing
her.
everybody.
I would like to see her like go to lunch, do the lunch round,
I
or
don't even
have
think
a
that she'll
brunch.
ever do that with Tiffany. I feel like she more so would sit down with Tisha and Destiny, and probably
Yeah,
definitely Destiny because she was like, "Why are we not inviting Destiny? What Destiny do, child? I like her." So like
yeah, I
they
agree. I just think,
evidently they've had more time together.
yeah, and like I said, like there's been other housewives that we see, like they'll play back on their first season as like a cast member. They'll play back where they were around, but still, I feel like you
Yeah,
have to do your due diligence for the audience of
true. I feel
of
that.
lapping, of making a lap around the party.
Yeah,
Doing your brunches, invite all the girls to brunch, your woman's empowerment alleged brunch or something
I
to
think
just
Destiny did that last
make it a
season.
thing. She did. She had an empowerment brunch, but she
Yeah,
also met a lot. No, Tiffany showed up at a Destiny brunch, so she ended up meeting a bunch of people through that. So that was good. And so I guess Mel's slumber party was kind of the way for her to start meeting people. But she just
yeah,
had too many
for the
opinions for me.
show's
I was
sake.
just kind of like I don't like that when they first come up.
But I feel like I don't know. I guess I just more so took it as Stormy has been around. She just hasn't been on the cast. And then I don't think we talked about this last week, but I almost feel like there's another couple that's being added to the show, and that's
Yes.
Marsau and Maurice's other brother and his wife. Because remember, they sat down, Kimmi and Maurice and Tisha and Marsau, and then the other couple, and they had this whole
Yeah.
conversation, and then the cousin. So it's like a whole bunch of people that are being added to the cast.
Well, there's a
Um,
bunch of people like circling. We'll see if they get actually added to the cast.
Yeah, I'm feeling more like friend to the show, like friend to,
Yeah.
whatever group. What I
Um,
found interesting is Tisha's cousin that was like, she didn't really
Messy.
drag Tisha, but she didn't really protect her either. So like she's
It
very
was
much
just
giving me
messy. Like
Humpty Dumpty.
I didn't like the conversation. And like Kimmi said, y'all wanted to come here and talk about her, but then
You don't want her to be here.
you didn't invite her here to defend herself. So like what is this really? And then as far as that was concerned, like they were really trying to go in for Kimmi and tell Kimmi like you need to protect yourself. Mel specifically told Kimmi she needs to protect herself. And I'm like, you people are out of your mind if you think that Kimmi is divulging absolutely anything with you
Mm-mm.
people. Like you're vultures to her right now. She and
Mm-mm.
Marsau, and like you said, the whole family, they sat down and had a talk. They sat down and hashed everything out. I don't know that Marsau is going to change, but they did sit down and she was able to express her opinion to Marsau. And so this whole like you need to be careful because Marsau doesn't care and all this other stuff, it was just like, Yeah, but she already did all of that, and that's family business. So why would
Right.
she bring that up here
But
when all of y'all are doing is interrogating her? It's not even like y'all are like truly concerned here. It's like an interrogation.
I think that
And you're
Kimmi had no
interrogating her for
problem,
her and for Tisha, by the way.
which
And
was
Tisha ain't even
strange.
here.
Right. I think that for Kimmi had no problem in talking about what has gone on because it's being recorded. So as far as Kimmi is concerned, you're gonna see it anyway. Like the cameras was there, the conversation was had. So I'm gonna continue to what I appreciate about Kimmi is that I'm gonna continue to say the same thing. I've said it in every facet, every arena that I was in. So like y'all not gonna get me to change script just because you have all these strong opinions. Now I will say that Stormi's point of it being a calculated move and intentionally done, I totally agree with Stormi. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Because like Marsau tried to like backpedal and like play it down like, oh, I just thought it was funny. Like, no, you're a Libra, bro. You did that shit to call him out, point blank in the period. Like, stop lying. And my thing is, why wouldn't you just say that?
Yeah.
Because that's the energy that Marsau gives. So it's like, why wouldn't you just be like, yo, I mean, I thought it was funny, yes, but I also did it intentionally because you was up there trying to perpetrate like you wasn't with me. And you was.
Yeah.
You was there for the bullshit.
Yeah. I agree. But I think that Kimmi kept it, she said the same stuff, but she kept it super high level when she was with the women at the slumber party. She didn't go into, because they kept trying to say stuff about Marsau and a lot of the stuff that they were, right, and a lot of the stuff that they were bringing up, we do see that they discussed at that family dinner. But Kimmi was not repeating that in public company. She left
just repeating her stance.
Right. She was repeating the part that would affect her. Like, I don't have a problem. Maurice and I have discussed it, and I believe him. And that was kind of where she left it, and she didn't include the rest. So I respect that, and I appreciated her approach to that.
As did I. Kimmy's just a fan favorite. Period. Hey, boo. Favorite. One of my my girls is in here. Hey, girl. Hey.
Only person with some sense on this cast. So, anyways, Martell and his lingerie shoot.
Right. So I appreciated the like candor and banter between he and Destiny, but I almost feel like the previews for this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville are setting us up to feel like he and Destiny start canoodling. Yeah. What you think?
Absolutely. Because also, why would you call Destiny? Like, okay, granted, she's
Destiny is his girl, and he said that she was like down the block.
She's close by, but my thing is, you have your manager here who isn't really doing a whole lot. If Destiny is down the block, your manager could have ran out and got you some baby oil if that's what it was.
And could have, but my thing is, what the hell did the manager have on? She had on a Inspector Gadget ass jacket.
I did not pay her one iota of mind,
baby. Not one. I was like, and then Destiny was like, the girl's name was she was like, you had to go get you another male because her name was Melnika. I'm like, that y'all are southern as fuck because Melnika. Yeah, I guess her dad's name was Melvin. Probably.
So
anyways, I am terrible for this.
Pretty much all that I had on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Did you have anything else?
It wasn't a whole lot of going on. So we're just gonna see how this show continues to pan out.
You have to watch Put a Ring on It for next week.
Something funny. I didn't know that it started. So I have to offline conversation. Anyway, I didn't know that it started. So
I know you watch on the apps. So it kind of like started right after what's that show? It started right after Ready to Love. But again, since you watch on the apps, you wouldn't have seen it.
No, because I try to watch it live on the app, but it doesn't always work out. So I'm gonna start over. Now I'm watching it through Discover.
Well, it's only one episode, so you haven't missed much.
So we can recap the two of them next week. So our show might be a little bit longer next week. But anyway, thanks for joining us, y'all. That's all we have for Reality Recap this week. If there are shows that you think that we should be talking about and watching, get down in the comments and let us know so that we can watch them, girl. And until next time, make sure you're following us on all of our social media, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, friends.